Maori. Well, God bless you in the new year as well. I'm very honored to have this moment to visit with you, who are testaments and living history of what befell the Pacific over 75 years ago. Throughout this year, we've been celebrating the 75th anniversary of the conclusion of World War II and commemorating the different battles, including the Battle of Tarawa, and then celebrating the peace that we've been blessed with for the last 75 years. So you really are an important part of this year of commemoration and celebration, and I appreciate your willingness to provide your reflections and have a bit of a dialogue with me. It's beautiful to see our respective the flags of our republics in front of you, and I have on my lapel here a friendship pin of the United States and Kiribati, which represents our friendship. Certainly that was forged more strongly during the battles of World War II, but more timelessly, we have very common principles and timeless truths in our founding documents, our constitutions, and that undergirds all of it, and it always will for all time, and I very much appreciate that. Mutually so. I very much appreciate it. One of the more memorable moments when I went to Kiribati in late January, early February to be accredited with President Mamau. After that happens, the flag goes up on my vehicle, and as soon as it went up, and it happened in other countries as well, but with unique vigor there, where people would see the flag and then they would either salute it or give thumbs up or peace signs and begin chasing the car. So, which spoke and speaks to the deep affinity, the deep mutual affinity between our nations. But it really fortified my patriotism as an American and as a friend and ally and partner of Kiribati.
So, Your Excellency, let me introduce to you our three survivors of the Battle of Tarawa. From this side, this is Daisy Kamki Namakin. And in the middle, she's Tewe Namaya. And the third one from that side is Semani.
Ladies, it is again an honor to have the chance to interview you. I guess I'd like to start off with Daisy, and it's perhaps providential that we're meeting on this day. So December 10th, 1941 was the day the Japanese invaded Makin Island. So 79 years ago today, the Japanese invaded Daisy's Island of Makin. I understand she recalls the Japanese invasion of Buritrari Island in 1941, this very day. And can she reflect a little bit about her home being seized and what the U.S. troops, I guess her engagement and memories of what her interactions were with the U.S. troops and what they may have done to support her family?
America is that I like Tabun Yaman. Kita pun yang ano ko tende ano ko nakakaya internet di sada na ito ako tende gigit ano mesibus yan ang kanya kaya ay suwa yang atin na siya. Ini dia menjadi kurang kali, ia pun benda kali, ia tahu pun benda us. Anak kuina wah anak ini sedang agak buat itu ada ni puisi bahasikan kata. Ia kau buat itu hari ini. Anak awak anak udah kayak isainya katanya ada winan di Dennis mana karena udang kan kawan di kawan di sini oh ya ini masih ya ini di jalan kandang itu nanti siapa ini yang kamu pada ini jadi oleh suaminya agar anak tiga anak ibu jangan buat anak ini mai ada ada asyik kami ada kira apa.
So Daisy was 12 or 13 years old around the time of the Battle of Makin, I understand. She's now 90. And if I'm not mistaken, her home was seized by the Japanese soldiers. Where did her family live after their home was seized? Was why were they removed from their home? Was it a like an important strategic location? Does she happen to recall that? Is her family, is that family home still living, or was that destroyed during the war? Siamane Nakaukuhi is 91 years old. She was 14 during the Battle of Tarawa. She was on another office during the battle, but could hear the police and the searchlights. She later moved to Besio, South Tarawa. Still recovering from the battle, and for years they sustained themselves on fish because the coconut and pandanus trees were wiped out from the fighting. So Siamani, thank you for joining us. Oh, it's a blessing, an honor, a a joy and a privilege to have her with us today and to share with us some, I'm sure, very difficult times for her family and all iKiribati. What are some of Semani's strongest memories of World War II?
iKiribati, Tonga, the Nagaragamonda Monte, Booking Roll said that. Maybe when men in the Rakia, you wouldn't go, but Booking the women arrival to Raya, the man of war of women away. I had it, Yata, the body of Benny, you're no one like it. I had it. I always said that in the video, I saw you, you met that, market, you met that. So I was just see, no, I said, one, nah, got into the eight. I get over your business, then I was well, we met away. Oh, yeah, never got in business. Yata, the one governor, you know, yeah, I know, Barbara now the day. I had gone Karakiran the Kananoa, I got this. I did a vessel. I then, I want the Kananoa, I just saw the yeah, I did it right. They are not the hero. America went to they are this state of walk out right. I then they get that you on America. They're all America. I don't know but Tuvalu, on this. They are all I if I go to get in time or once I know America, you got all the kind of minutes, I went midnight. I get that and all I got. I can always go in a right. The yellow that I know that I did this. When I got this. I added, Yata, the road of the couple voice, the whole of my I got it, and I got a room now. I the Caravan I wanted it. But I said about what I or the Canadian at the water. I then came like John Bishop. I remember either the wild, either an English, no, the don't not carry on Bishop. I did, they are not the red fish. They are unhappy, yes, right. They are my home now. I'm there. They are by night. I get it. And so we're there. Now, you don't doubt that. Now, I went out for Mama. I got Mama and I invested. But yet, I'm not sure not yet. Saturday, about after and now, get one of us that, or two said that, no, yeah. About our brother, I said that, but I wouldn't the what I Saturday, but get over the method that hero. Walk around in America, or that's not a base of it's not Saturday. I don't know more when America wanted it. I know America. Did I get it? What I wanted it?
Okay,
I didn't get that.
I have plenty of time. No worries.
Ya aquí me da y me hagan enojado, te lo no. Ya por la y quién de eso. Ya de un plan me da ahora de cada día que no da casi. Bien, mai, era mi cara ahora te lo hoy guardar. Ella acá que es muy ahí. Ya me diga, ahora mi no hago que mire, sobre el modo hacer no hago que si cae no hago que va que nadie también te va a igual anak kalau suri ada suri awal dari nak dari raya kesuara raya yang biasa mana batai ada kita batai ada tiba tu kita kata angka yang biasa yang pura-pura ya ada sih kan.
The most moving, I've done a couple of these interviews, and that is certainly the most evocative and emotional and touching testimonial and deeply appreciated testimonial that I've received to date. And I had the chance to visit Red Beach when I was there for my accreditation trip in late January and early February, and I saw the remains that are there from the battle, the tank and the amphibious landing craft. I saw the Bonneman bunker and the various gun placements. And it's still a very haunting reminder of that fierce battle. And it was the most fierce battle in Marine Corps history. We lost about 1,500 Marines in 3 days. And in fact, one personal testimony I'll share with you, in May of 2019, the remains of a young Marine from my home county where I live. He grew up just 15, 20 minutes away from where I live. His remains were identified. They were removed from Tarawa, from Besio, and identified in May of 2019 and buried in my home state, our home state. His name was Private Kenneth Likens, a young Marine. And while there, I collected some sand that I will present to his family as a keepsake. But he died of shrapnel wounds to his head and his chest, and he died during the Japanese final assault. It was a banzai charge, final assault, which was ultimately repelled, and that brought freedom ultimately to Kiribati. But to Semani's point, it's very important, just as we were vigilant, just as the United States was vigilant in the defense of the freedom of Kiribati during World War II, we are always vigilant in our defense of liberty everywhere, especially where it is imperiled with our allies, friends, and partners. So we will forever remain by the side of all iKiribati in defending their freedom and liberty. Tewa is Nawaya is 85 years old. She was 8 years old during the Battle of Tarawa, and I'd rather not. If she could provide her testimonial that I'm aware of in terms of being led to a dugout with her family, if she'd be willing to share those details, those harrowing details, Much appreciated.
Mataratik ya.
Hindi siya kung kanina. Aring ditibutan may kuana daw. Asa di su di siya batutan yung dinan na. Tumari ara na napa. Ang ayang kan. Sa su kung kanina. Yita. Tika isa ta ni maaari ka. Ikaw ay na tayo no wala mo na bili. Sarili na isa ta. Bisa sedang ako ng program ka na araw isa ta na bigay. Tanga punya pero yung dito. Dito na ni boy ay mga pinan ko. Silang minta lang ay si siya ng sedang ako ng program ka na rai ba. Yung dan power di sini na yan. Kaya orang dan si Makin. Tapi ini ada ya orang ada jika asis doan ada sinang kabarnya bin bukan bin aku ya coba ya mungkin makanya ya tabroi cuma dua imal ada siapa yang bukan kira kekanyi dan juara kekanyi jadi ikanyi itu kan kita ini bukan sekolah dia kek agen bayi dan kanyi tapi baru kok orang siapa yang itu anu malu ayah, jangan ini menenun dalam malu. Ayah, saya suguhkan, siapa mau bercerai anak Tarawa mau. Saya suguhkan, nasihat, tentang ngajai, pasal jangan mul. Tarawa, semua berbeda dan benar kasih. Ayah, jadi umum tentang ini aja, jadi umum. Ayah bapak semua. Cara kita nak bagian aku nak kunci abu di sini ni dan ada yang alam. Ada, ngan dia mau yang dia mau berai saja. Ada, yang dia mau nak ada berapa ni yang kau bisa kan? Ada mana cukup aja cuma ya ada mana berawal ya cuma. Ya tu warna buat, itu kita guna nama yang kita ada. Ya wan kita dia awal dia dia mari kan. Oh iya tak ada apa pun. Kaya apa itu baru aikan. Ori itu sama aku ori yang mengambil jawab ini ada mana sedang dulu kok iya tahu cang nunggu bang kita jadi kok. Mana tahu tak jawab kita ada. Iya ngomong bang, mana yang ada ngomong. Macam apa? Dia macam ngomong ada di ngomong. Ayah cari ada kok kan kita siapa ni dulu jadi tak. Ay pun kita jangan naikkan pun dia tak naikkan. Angkat ni bicara kau itu pun tidak ada itu dia lawan. Sino orang ni dia pun bicara nak jawab jangan dia lawan. Bicara ni yang dia ni orang dia jangan wari itu. Makanya siapa orang ni kita kalau boleh kita wari bahasa dia ber. Ayah soalnya kalau jadi guru tadi dia senang nampak dia ya ibu sih dia pada nak jahat dia marah dia orang kan ada tak awu bukan bukan senang nampak dia orang itu makanya kan ni soalnya kalau cuma aja ya berikan kembali sidang bayar berikan awak aku sidang ada patanda aku ni kasih ya baik ya ampun kalau ada mantai orang Jadi kira apa? Hari aku kain kita siapa tu? Macam mereka kain darah tu nanti kasih. Ya suami apa? Hari ini tak siapa ni siapa ni kan? Sama. Macam mereka ada datang tak tu kan? Macam hari ini ni lewat. Macam hari ini siapa kau ye tak? Ya, aku sihir ada ni yang mereka. Awak aku sihir nak darah ni kita lewat. Orang hari ini ada tamu lah. Anh kan yang nanti ini, orang itu kita ni jadi. Ini kalau tahu ni kan, sebuah tamu ni yang mereka. Kalau kan awak ni seperti itu, macam kan dia mau lagi tamu ni. Tapi kita yang, kenapa?
experience. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
May I ask, Tawewa, how large were these dugout holes and how many people were in each of them?
It's like the well.
And it mentioned that she had heard the names of being called out. So were there other families that were in other dugout holes whose family members whose names were called, they were removed by the Japanese and then summarily executed? Did that happen? One fact that remains, thank you, Tawewa, one fact that remains a little bit elusive in history books that I've read about the Battle of Tarawa, Battle of Makin Island, is how many, is a sense of the civilian casualties of iKiribati that there were. Do they have any sense of that or recollection, just based on oral history or oral tradition passed down over the years, or what they may remember as children? So there were civilian casualties again, but the number of casualties remains elusive then, it seems. So I guess I'd like to, maybe we could close with just two questions for each of them, if they could each respond. How was life different in Kiribati after the war? Maybe we can start with Daisy. Thank you. Can we ask the same question of Semane?
แต่โอ้โหตะกี้มีแต่พวก
I listen about Aaron Aaron may mind on the park at the Anandu Yamelika in Chadan or Corobati. Taking a right now. That I or the king. Skonan Melvin. None Tiga tidak ada negara. Sekarang kita negara bahasa Tarawa tani, kalau diri dah ada siuta. Ini nanti main ro, tahun tu terbuat. Dia katakan saja. Orang ya kalau main ro Amerika ayam seronok. Yang seronok panaketi, naket kau dari kipin semua, minta dayan, macam yang aku ngane, semua orang ngane dayan, agi kita awal kita detai, osnori, macam mereka snori, dayan kan kotor tak mungkin. Arai ni kaya, pada day, kalau day, turun na mereka, masa kita day, Jomo tentang doan kita, osmini, pasal saya tay bayar kan, bayar, saya tay roy, oh ya, mungkin saya nan, jadi nan, oh ya, jangan aku terlalu ya, saya kata man barang gua tidak ada yang biasa itu orang ngai orang mana ni lah sebaya ada tekai set yang nan minta dia ayah dari kecil dengan kau ya tu boleh min anak Amerika Ivan kalau Ivan mana ada ngai lagi nah, ada apa? Kita mulai ngaji. What we know about, anak orang, ada penting, anak orang Amerika itu ada kaina. What we know about, sekarang ini besok, sekarang ini anak besar, ada anak nama terkau pinana, orang anak sekarang ini. Tanya kamu awak, the red beast, ayat kamu awak, yang koran nauna, bukan anak Amerika, ayat, ibu nak apa Amerika, ayat China, ibu, sekarang ada, nah, ayat, ada sekarang kalau ayat, ada kalau ayat orang Amerika, wah. Dia orang bisa dia coba orang cakap orang kita mungkin terbosan nampak. So, gini dah mungkin dia tu orang, anak ibu setelah apa? Setelah ibu kaya apa kau? Oh ya cuma apa orang mesti kaya. Kita nama kan ibu oh ya ibu sangat nak. Nanti dia kaya jangan orang kita Amerika. Sekarang ada, anak tu biasa, mana anak tu rumah orang ada di biasa. Ada, tidak anak tu, Nauru, ada semua yang di biasa anak orang orang Amerika kita singaya.
Thank you, Tuvalu. I appreciate your moving testimonial yet again. The final question I have for all of them, and we can conclude, is that with their journeys through life comes much wisdom, especially forged through the war of fire and challenging times that they've seen much of, I'm sure, during their lifetimes. What piece of advice would they give the youth, the world, to maintain the peace that we've been blessed with in the Indo-Pacific?
Another guy that I was out there, I got a roy, moving to the road. I started on the water, I got nine, but when I got Dan go to Raya, I don't know in a day, the boat are down, in my Tanga, if you have Dikiraki, I don't know Dikiraki, the Mel Wow, to go on that. I get it. Take it out. And I went to know where I went to come in and already. You also have in the way they end. Oh, okay, that's why I can tell that. And I'm going, but I get it. Yet, now, lawyer to go away home, my husband, the yet again, I go what it is. Kind of what I go. Mày giờ saya rồi kira vậy thì dia kira cái này thì là đó thì nó là từ đâu qua thì ya coi na coi ya na có tên nó mới tạo ra mồi anh ra à chả mày giờ đang ra vào nè nó cái này thì tao té vào bên này nó đã sẽ cho nó qua nó làm cái gì thì em muốn rồi đấy cái này nó là tại kita di nama orang ID dia sudah ini, ay, jatuh tunai jadi tinggal dah, jatuh nari kerana orang ada sahaja, ay, kira-kira apa, anak darah luar orang yang bodoh nak, tinggal ya, ada sudah apa, ay, ramai kerana.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. I hope I'm blessed with the occasion to meet you in person. One day, and thank you for your generosity of your time, but being willing to just come forth and share your stories of resilience and courage to endure some very perilous times during World War II. And I will close and thank you for the Tourism Authority of Kiribati, your leadership and being a bridge to these living testimonies of history and sharing their story with the world. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Daisy, Semane, and Tawewa. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Sapo.
Okay. God bless. See you.